But yeah, red flag. And how long was it red flag for? It was quite a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, about.
35 minutes, it looks like. Track reopened at.
Was it 35 minutes? Okay, I was trying to think back to it.
Oh, track reopened at 15:20 our time, and it was red flagged at 14:54. So 25 minutes.
And we had a standing start. Yes.
Yes.
Let's
How
do
good was
standing
that?
starts, please.
Absolutely.
No, please don't do rolling starts. They're rubbish.
Completely agree. Yeah, it was. And they're not allowed to talk on the outlap at all to their race engineer. There's no communication until they've pulled away from that grid spot. So, absolutely, I'm all for that. That's racing, all on the driver.
But of course, this we'll come to the Hamilton penalty, because I think the first thing to talk about is, obviously, it wasn't the only thing that happened whilst the session was stopped. Because of course, as we've touched on very briefly, the teams were able to, you can swap out components on a car as long as they are verified by the FIA as being identical, which is what Mercedes were trying to do for Bottas' car. And of course, you can change your tyres without having to take a pit stop. How do we feel about this rule then? How do we feel about being able to change your tyres during a red flag?
I think it takes the racing out of racing. I think all racing should be done on track. Strategy should be made on track. I think the cars should be left, unless you've done it endanger a driver or other drivers, then the cars should be left in situ when the red flag comes out. It's not an opportunity to capitalize on someone's misfortune to the point where they've red flagged the track. By all means, do it underneath the safety car. But I think the only thing which should be done is the engineers come out, there's sufficient cooling for the cars so they don't damage them at all. Keep them at a suitable temperature so they don't overheat. So like places like Singapore, they would catch fire if they were sat still for too long. And it was quite a hot day in Italy as well, compared to practice and qualifying. But I think they should just be left exactly how they were. What do you think?
Yeah, it seems to me that if the session is stopped, then
there's a key word there, isn't there?
Yeah, then it means that nothing should be going on other than what one would normally expect necessary to have a Formula One car come into the pits and stop. And that's it.
Good.
So
I'm glad we agree. It's one of those few things we do agree on.
I think it's going to be something that will probably be changed in the future, because it does seem a little bit of an unnecessary. Like, why is that even a thing? I don't really get it.
It doesn't happen too often.
No, true.
But this year it has, and it changed the shape of the race, and people aren't happy about it. And like you said, the session has stopped. Get the drivers out of the car. The drivers are out of the car, and they're making changes to the car. Like, it's mad. It's just, I'm conscious that, the feedback on our last podcast was to try and keep it around an hour, and we could waffle on about this for a long time. And I'm sure some people would love it. So let us know if you do like it or not. But yeah, I think it should be stopped. If the session stopped, cars get parked up, adequately cooled, and then continue as you left them.